October 15, 1985. Salt Lake City, Utah. 7:48 a.m. A package sits on the desk of Stephen Christensen, a Mormon document dealer on the 6th floor of the Judge Building. He picks it up. It explodes. The blast tears through the office. Christensen is dead before the paramedics reach the stairwell. By 9:30 a.m., investigators are still processing the first scene when a second call comes in. Another bomb. Another address. Kathleen Sheets, wife of Christensen's former business partner, opens a package on her driveway. She dies in her garage. 2 bombs. 2 victims. Same city. Same morning. Salt Lake City police mobilize everything. The FBI joins within hours. The question consuming every investigator in Utah is the same. Who builds 2 bombs and delivers them before breakfast? By afternoon, they think they have a suspect. A third explosion has just ripped through a downtown street. A car bomb. Except this time, the bomb went off early, and the man bleeding on the pavement beside the wreckage isn't a victim. He's the bomber. His name is Mark Hofmann, 30 years old, soft-spoken, deeply religious, a husband and father of 4, and the most respected historical document dealer in the entire Mormon Church. Here's what nobody in Salt Lake City knows yet. Every rare document Mark Hofmann ever sold, every letter he ever authenticated, every piece of history he placed in the hands of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He forged every single one, and the church paid him millions to do it. How does one man rewrite the founding documents of a religion, fool the Library of Congress, deceive the world's top forensic experts, and nearly get away with murder? And what happens when the greatest forger in American history runs out of road? Salt Lake City, 1959. Mark William Hofmann is born into a devout Mormon family on December 7th. His father is a strict disciplinarian. His mother is warm but obedient to the faith. Mark grows up in the church the way most Utah children do: Sunday services, scripture memorization, missionary preparation. From the outside, he is a model child. Quiet, studious, unusually focused for his age. But from his earliest years, Mark is running a private experiment. At 10 years old, he teaches himself to alter mint marks on coins. Not to sell them, just to see if he can. He studies the coin under a magnifying glass, works with small tools until the altered mark is indistinguishable from the original. Then he shows it to a dealer and asks for an evaluation. The dealer calls it genuine. Mark nods, thanks him, and takes the coin home. He never tells anyone what he did. He files the information away like a result in a laboratory notebook. If an expert can be fooled, the expert is not the authority. The object is, and the object is whatever he makes it. By his teenage years, the coins give way to stamps. He acquires a collection, studies forgery techniques from obscure philatelic journals, and begins producing altered stamps that command premium prices. He sells several to reputable dealers before he's 17. No one suspects a thing. Mark attends Brigham Young University briefly, serves his mandatory Mormon mission in England, and returns to Utah with something nobody expected him to bring back: a discovery. In a Cambridge bookshop, he finds an obscure 19th century text on early American printing techniques. He reads it twice on the flight home. By the time the plane lands, the idea forming in his mind has already become a plan. The Mormon Church, he understands with cold clarity, has a problem. Its history is full of gaps. Its founding documents are scattered, incomplete, or entirely missing. The church spends enormous resources hunting for historical materials that authenticate and support its origin story. Leaders desperately want artifacts that confirm Joseph Smith's divine revelation. Collectors within the faith will pay extraordinary sums for genuine connections to their prophet. Mark Hofmann sees not a church. He sees a market, and he is about to become its only supplier. 1980. Mark is 20 years old when he produces his first serious forgery: a signature of Joseph Smith on a 19th century Bible. He sells it to a dealer for a modest sum. The dealer has it examined by 2 experts. Both confirm its authenticity. It sells at a premium within the week. Mark watches the transaction complete from a distance and feels nothing except the satisfaction of a hypothesis confirmed. He spends the next 2 years in deep study. He reads every available text on 19th century American documents. He learns period-correct iron gall ink formulas, mixing sulfate with oak galls and water the way scribes did in the 1830s. He acquires genuine blank pages from antique books of the correct era, carefully removing end papers and flyleaves that carbon dating could verify as authentic. He learns that document aging is the central problem in forgery detection. Fresh ink on old paper is detectable under certain light spectrums. So Mark experiments with artificial aging processes, hydrogen peroxide treatments, controlled heat exposure. He tests each method against known authentic documents until his results are visually identical. Then he goes further. He discovers that the cracking pattern of aged ink under magnification, a phenomenon called alligatoring, is nearly impossible to fake. Nearly. Mark develops a method using a specific chemical compound that produces alligatoring patterns matching period documents under microscopic examination. Forensic document experts in 1980 do not yet have the technology to detect what he is doing, and Mark knows it. By 1981, he is ready to go to church. The Anthon transcript forgery arrives first. In 1828, Joseph Smith supposedly copied a series of characters from the golden plates, the source material for the Book of Mormon, and sent them to a Columbia University professor named Charles Anthon for verification. Anthon's response became contested historical record. The original transcript, if it existed, was never found, until Mark Hofmann says he finds it. He presents the document to church leaders with a carefully constructed story. Found it tucked inside an old Bible. Here is the provenance. Here is the supporting documentation. He hands it over with the calm confidence of a man doing God's work. Church historians are electrified. They examine it, authenticate it, celebrate it. The church acquires it. Mark Hofmann walks away with a payment and a reputation that will open every door in Salt Lake City. The man who finds what the church needs most is never asked uncomfortable questions. Over the next 3 years, documents flow from his workshop into the hands of collectors, institutions, and church leadership with stunning regularity. A letter signed by Joseph Smith. A hymnal from the 1830s with a handwritten inscription. A land deed connecting key figures in Mormon history. Each document arrives with plausible provenance. Each document passes examination. Each document commands increasing sums. Mark Hofmann is not just forging documents. He is constructing an entire false archive, a parallel history that slots perfectly into the gaps of the real one. He studies his targets so thoroughly that his forgeries don't just look authentic. They answer historical questions that genuine scholars have wrestled with for decades. He is not imitating history. He is writing it. By 1984, his reputation is unassailable. Church President Gordon B. Hinckley meets with him personally. The Library of Congress acquires one of his pieces. Sotheby's handles several of his transactions. He is earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and spending every dollar faster than it arrives. The lifestyle is expensive. The research is expensive. The materials are expensive. And Mark has developed a habit of selling documents he hasn't forged yet, collecting payment in advance on forgeries still sitting as blank antique paper in his workshop. The debts are beginning to stack. Then comes the Salamander letter, and everything changes. January 1984. Mark Hofmann approaches church document dealer Stephen Christensen with a proposition. He has acquired, he says, a letter written in 1830 by Martin Harris, one of Joseph Smith's earliest followers. The letter describes the founding vision of the Mormon Church, but not the way the church has always told it. In the official account, Joseph Smith received the golden plates from the angel Moroni, a divine messenger. In Hofmann's forged letter, Martin Harris describes the messenger not as an angel, but as a white salamander that transforms into a spirit. The implications are explosive. If genuine, the letter suggests the founding vision of Mormonism has more in common with folk magic than divine revelation. It threatens to undermine the spiritual foundation of a faith with 6 million members. Christensen pays $40,000 for it and donates it to the church. Church leadership is shaken. They don't publicize the letter immediately, instead commissioning quiet authentication. 3 independent forensic document experts examine it. All 3 declare it genuine. The ink, the paper, the handwriting, the chemical composition, all consistent with 1830. The church is caught between 2 impossible options: accept the letter and watch their founding narrative fracture, or suppress it and invite accusations of a cover-up. While they deliberate, the letter leaks to the press. The New York Times runs the story. The Los Angeles Times follows. Suddenly, Mark Hofmann's forgery is an international religious controversy, and Mark Hofmann, the man who created it, is being paid by both sides, by those who want more documents that support the letter's implications, and by the church, which quietly wants him to find materials that contradict it. He is selling the disease and the cure simultaneously. But here's the problem. The money is gone almost the moment it arrives. Mark has promised documents to multiple buyers that don't exist yet. He owes Christensen alone over $185,000 in unfulfilled transactions. A collector named Thomas Wilding is pressing him for a promised McClellan collection, a legendary set of early Mormon documents worth potentially millions, that Mark has been dangling for 2 years without producing. The architecture of lies requires constant new lies to hold it up, and the structure is starting to groan. By the summer of 1985, Mark Hofmann is drowning. His bank accounts are overdrawn. His creditors are circling. The McClellan collection deal, brokered partly through Christensen, has collapsed under the weight of Mark's inability to deliver. Buyers who have paid in advance are growing suspicious. Questions are being asked that were never asked before. For the first time in his career, Mark faces a problem his pen cannot solve. He spends 3 weeks in his garage. Investigators will later reconstruct what he builds there from the forensic evidence collected after the bombings. Pipe casings, nails, end cap assemblies. He is methodical about this the same way he is methodical about everything. He studies the construction carefully before he builds. He tests components before he assembles. He is not a violent man by nature. He is an engineer solving a problem with the tools available to him. The problem is Stephen Christensen, who knows too much and is about to talk to other document experts who are beginning to ask uncomfortable questions about Hofmann's provenance records. October 15, 1985. Mark delivers 2 packages before 8 a.m. The third bomb, intended for another creditor, detonates prematurely in his own car at 2:41 p.m. as he lifts a package from the back seat on a downtown Salt Lake City street. The blast throws him across the pavement. Nails tear through his legs. His hand is severely damaged. He is conscious when the first officer reaches him. He manages a single sentence before losing consciousness. "There was a bomb in my car." The investigation that follows is one of the most complex in Utah history. Initially, detectives treat Hofmann as a victim. 3 bombs in one city in one day suggest a coordinated attack against the document trading community. Investigators build theories around disgruntled collectors, anti-Mormon extremists, financial disputes. But forensic examiners at the bomb scenes begin finding irregularities. The construction of all 3 devices is identical. Same pipe diameter, same nail configuration, same triggering mechanism. Whoever built them built all 3 in the same workshop with the same tools. Then the document investigators arrive. While the bomb squad works the crime scenes, a separate team begins pulling the thread on Mark Hofmann's business dealings. The financial records are catastrophic. Overdue payments. Promised documents never delivered. A paper trail of fabricated provenance records going back years. They bring in forensic document examiner George Throckmorton and investigator Bill Flynn. The 2 men are handed a collection of Hofmann's most celebrated documents and told to look again. Harder this time. Flynn spots it first. Under a microscope at high magnification, the ink on the salamander letter shows cracking patterns inconsistent with natural aging. The alligator ink is there, but the crack distribution follows a pattern that only occurs when artificial aging is applied to fresh ink. Natural aging cracks radiate outward from the ink center. Hofmann's cracks run parallel. It is a difference invisible to the naked eye. Under the microscope, it is unmistakable. They test every major Hofmann document in sequence. The same signature appears in each one. The same artificial aging pattern. The same chemical fingerprint of a compound not available in the 19th century. Every document is a forgery. Every expert who authenticated them was fooled by a process so sophisticated it required technology that didn't exist at the time of authentication to detect. Mark Hofmann, recovering from his injuries in a Salt Lake City hospital, is arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 23 counts of fraud. The trial never happens. On January 23, 1987, Mark Hofmann enters a plea agreement. He pleads guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of fraud. In exchange, prosecutors take the death penalty off the table. He agrees to a full confession. What follows over 3 days of interviews is one of the most extraordinary accounts in the history of American crime. Mark describes his forgery process in technical detail, so precise that document experts listening in the room are simultaneously horrified and fascinated. He explains the iron gall ink formulas, the hydrogen peroxide aging, the alligatoring technique, the sources for his blank antique paper. He names every significant forgery he produced, over 400 documents spanning a decade of work. He explains the salamander letter with no emotion. He explains the Anthon transcript with the calm detachment of a professor discussing a student's completed thesis. He knew what the church needed. He gave it to them. He knew what collectors feared. He gave them that too. When asked why, he pauses for a long moment. I wanted to see if I could. He is sentenced to life in prison at the Utah State Prison in Draper. He will be eligible for parole hearings, but has never been released. As of today, Mark Hofmann is still alive, still incarcerated, and the Mormon Church still has not fully disclosed every document he sold them, or what those documents claim to say. Here is what Mark Hofmann understood that everyone around him didn't. Institutions don't authenticate documents. People do, and people authenticate what they want to be true. The Mormon Church wanted its history confirmed. They paid for confirmation. Collectors wanted rare connections to their faith. They paid for connection. Experts wanted their reputations validated. They validated what they examined. Mark Hofmann didn't exploit religion. He exploited belief. The belief that authority figures know more than you do. The belief that if enough experts agree, the thing must be real. The belief that a quiet, helpful young man with the right documents and the right answers couldn't possibly be writing history from scratch in a workshop in Salt Lake City. He fooled everyone, not because they were stupid, because they were certain. And certainty, Mark Hofmann understood better than anyone, is the most exploitable thing in the world. If you want to see another story about a man who turned certainty into a weapon, someone who made the most powerful intelligence agencies on Earth believe exactly what he needed them to believe, check out our video on the spy who worked for both sides for 22 years. Because some people don't just fool the system, they become it.